Good evening, good evening, good evening, good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, contingent upon where you are. And welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Heart channel where we do what? Focus on healing humor and hot motherfucking topics. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am up here with another motherfucking cap. Okay, because listen. We are trying to keep up with this Big Bank and Young Thug interview. And when I tell you that it's eating me alive, that's exactly what it's doing, right? But in any event, we're going to get down to it, get through it, and so on and so forth. And we're going to make it happen. So hold on, because. Okay. So we are going to go through the Heal Up, Will Up, Bring It Back Home Rewind part 2 of the Perspective with Bank Young Thug interview. Now, y'all keep me uplifted in prayer because these country folk, I can't really hear all of that. It's a lot of country grammar. I'm trying to do what I do, but we going to pray. Anywho, the interview, before I get started, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe on the video. I'm a little confused with how this works, but F it, I'll just do the review now. Whatever happens, happens, right? In any event, the interview reconvenes with the Gunner talk, right? So Big Bang shares with Thugger. He like, listen, Gunner basically say he doubled down on asking the lawyer, like, listen, if I take this plea deal, will this affect my brother? Like, I want to know, is there going to be an issue moving forward? Because I don't want to do that, right? So let me know if this is going to affect my brother. And the lawyer said, absolutely not. Your brother going to be good with this plea deal that you take, so you should be straight, right? So Thugger said, maybe that's true. And maybe his lawyer did tell him that BS because he ain't genuine. Thugger was like, my lawyer was so thorough that he kept it real with me the whole way. Um, Thugger, I'm not saying that that's a lie. That may very well be the truth. You might be telling the truth that maybe Gunna lawyer was some hoe and lied to Gunna. But in any event, if I am in a situation where I'm dealing with the court of law and I have a lawyer that I pay and I have to trust in order to get me out of a situation, why wouldn't I believe my lawyer? Thugger, then you just say you believe yours? So if Gunner went in and triple checked down on, listen, is this going to have an effect on my brothers and our situation? And the lawyer said, no, what the fuck you wanted Gunner to do? Call a lawyer a liar? How the fuck am I supposed to know he's a liar? I'm believing what the nigga tell me because that's what he's the expert at law. So the same way how you saying your lawyer was so thorough, Gunner probably believed the same thing. Like, I just think throughout this interview, it pretty much gave me, I'm gonna keep going. I'll get to it, right? So anyway, Big Bang asked, he was like, so how is life now since you and Gunna was so close? He was like, because y'all damn near live like a married couple. Every minute, every day, every second. So how does this affect you? And he was like, not how does this affect Young Thug, but more importantly, how does this affect Jeff? Right, this whole Gunna situation. And he was like, at the end of the day, my feelings is very hurt and I'm heartbroken because I really feel in my heart and my soul that Gunna did not honor brotherhood. He was like, I feel like all of this like silence and letting people believe what they want and trying to move around the situation is very strategic. He was like, and he's very calculated, and he was like, because of that, he looks like the quote unquote good guy when he feels like Gunna's being manipulative about the way he's playing the whole situation, right? And he was like, and that's pretty much how he is. From what I know about him, he's a very calculated person, right? And he was like, Gunna, or had already did some shit that he know about, and another one his homeboys know about, and he kind of swept that to the side because that's how much love he got for Gunna, right? And he was like, I've been with this nigga every day since 2015. He took care of him, he mentored him, he guided him to do the right thing, he poured into him, he helped buy his mama his first house. Like, he just basically was sharing all of the things that he has done for Gunna in his career and why he feels betrayed, right? So Big Bank was like, so you still love him? And he was like, yeah, I still love him. I'm just mad at him. He was like, but I do still love him. I can't hate him. I'm just mad at him, but I do still love him, right? So Big Bang asked if Thugger would take a conversation with Gunna, and he said he didn't think so. So, in my opinion, Thugger, right? Really and truly, nobody gets to tell you how you feel about a situation, right? But a little part of me feels like your perspective is very selfish and one-sided. And I also feel like it's really that way because you feel like gonna owe you something. I feel like you feel like however you feel, right? Which is he should have did this and he should have did that and he should have did this and he should have did that because the way I carried him, right? But I also feel like all of those feelings are magnified because you feel like you carried him. And again, nobody can tell you how to feel, but you have to also keep in mind, and Sheldon, you're not the only person in the world with feelings. So although you may feel Gunna owes you something and Gunna should be doing this and Gunna should be doing that and Gunna should be adhering to this, Gunna has his own feelings. He's a grown ass man. And no matter what you did or didn't do for him in the past, he doesn't have to adhere to the things that you feel. So I personally feel like a lot of this is coming from really and truly what you did for Gunna. And my whole thing is like they always say, if you're gonna do things with expectations, then don't do them. I'm sorry to say, I always tell people one of my biggest pet peeves, because I am also a very giving, a very loving person. But one of my biggest pet peeves is when a motherfucker look me in the face and tell me after all the shit I gave them that they didn't ask me to do it. And I always motherfucker saying, you didn't stop me either, motherfucker. So, but again, they are telling the truth. And so am I. And that's both of our feelings, and neither one of them are right or wrong. The same way they didn't ask me is the same way they didn't stop me. Right? You see how both me and that other person can have those feelings and they both can be right. Right. So I think that's what's happening here with you and Gunna. Is like, I think you feel you're owed something. And that's why you're really struggling with what's taking place with y'all, because not only do you feel like he betrayed you and he designed you and all of these other things, I also feel like you feel like he owed you those things because of all of the things you did for him. Right. So I also believe a lot of this boils down to intention. Right. I know me personally. I can't speak for these gentlemen. I don't know them personally. But a lot of things for me boils down to intention. Right. I'll give a light example. Right. Say like I'm walking in the door behind somebody and they let the door close on me. If you let the door close on me because you did not see me, then you did not do it with ill intent. Right. So therefore I wouldn't get angry. Now, if you purposely slammed the door on me, then yes, I am going to get upset because you did it with ill intention. But if you didn't have ill intention on the way you handle me through your actions, I can more so get over it. I think for Gunna, he feels like he didn't do anything with ill intent. And I think for you, Thug, you feel like he did. And that's where y'all meet a crossroad, right? And I also feel like Thugger, I also feel like Thugger, you feel like whether he did it with ill intent or not, the fact that he did it still, it doesn't sit right with you. And I mean, again, it's a matter of opinion and who you are as a person and how you were raised and what's your moral compass. And it's just a lot that comes with that. And as you get older, and I got to see a lot of immaturity in this interview, as you get older, you kind of decipher how you build your social circle, right? And I remember all the way back in 2010. In 2010, I was like 28 years old at the time. And I remember reshaping and restructuring my inner circle because I felt like my moral compass is of this, and the folks that I'm around, their moral compass is of something else. And I don't want to keep bumping heads with these people because I cannot say theirs is right or wrong, and I can't say mine is right or wrong. But I'm standing on mine. I'm standing on mine. I'm not bending. I'm not wavering. I'm being who I am. And if that's not good enough or that's not accepted with those folks, then you got to get the fuck from around them. Right. So, anywho, he said Gunna was the first one who took the plea and everybody else followed suit. And then he said, and then he wrote out he wrote out what Gunna admitted to in the plea, which was YSL was a street gang and it must end. And he said he also said he knew 3 or more co-defendants on the indictment who have committed these crimes. And he said it was murder, attempted murder, aggravated assault, damage to property, aka shooting their houses, petty car thefts, and armed robbery. And Young Thug was like, Gunna said he knew Gunna. Out of 28 people on this case, he was like, Gunna only knew 3 of the people. And they asked him, if you know 3 or more people, he was like, if you only know 3, who the fuck are you speaking about? And the 3 that you know is me, Duke, and somebody else named Gunna. He was like, so if they asking you about knowing 3 or more people and you only know 3 people, we the 3 people. So are we the fucking ones that you're ratting on? Right. And I mean, again, that's a sensible way to think. So I wasn't mad at Young Thug for that. Right. And he was like, And the plea deal that Gunna took could have been used against any one of us had we gone to trial. Right. So I was like, yeah, that does sound crazy, right? So then he got into the Duke and the Yak drama. I didn't really care about too much about that. So I went around that and then Woon Two and Ooh Fool and Who on the Live Nut and child, it was so country and discombobulated that I got dizzy. So I didn't really pay attention to that part. I'm not gonna lie, right? And then Woody came up. So I wanted to hear about Woody because remember I told y'all I was more invested in the ASAP Rocky trial. Well, Billionaire was over there. I didn't give a fuck about no fucking YSL. So I didn't really follow this case, but of course at that time, all you hearing about is Woody antics in the courtroom and Woody, and that's why most people was watching that trial because of Woody, right? So when he came up, Thug was basically he disregarded Woody. He was like, no shade, but Woody throwed off. He was like, he take real life medication. He was like, so all of the antics that Woody be pulling and all the shit that Woody be saying, I handle Woody with white gloves because really and truly, I don't think Woody is rap right. So for me to entertain the fuck shit that he be doing, I ain't really got time for that. So I was like, wow, okay. I don't particularly know all the fuck shit that Woody do because, like I said, I didn't watch the trial and I ain't got way to think about now, right? So then Rollo came up. So I wanted to hear about this because Rollo, I see him on Love and Hip Hop, and I just want to hear what was the take on that, right? So Thug said that the narrative that the DA was trying to put out, was trying to push, was that Thug was who divided the city. And he was like, that's not true. He was like, if anything, I'm more of an advocate for bringing people together. So Big Bang asked, so why was you trying to divide P and Little Baby? P being the person that signed Little Baby. And he said, because they wasn't real family. He was like, they wasn't real family to begin with. He was like, P was on some bullshit, and I told Baby don't sign with him. He was like, and initially I was encouraging Baby to sign with him because I thought he was going to do straight business. He was like, but when I found out he was trying to do fuck shit like from the Migos and all that, I was keeping it real with Baby because I fucks with him. You don't need to sign with him, right? Thug, you could come here for a second. You could come here for 1 minute. What the fuck that had to do with you? The same way how you could hear the rumors about however P was treating the Migos and all that, you don't think Little Baby could hear those same ones? Why was you in his ear? Mind your fucking business. Mind your business. Another thing I don't like about you doing it is you was just saying in the beginning part of this interview how you're a happy person. And this is not stuff that happy people do. That does signal division. Why was you, what was the reason? The same way you heard about how P moving is the same way I'm pretty sure Little Baby would have heard about them. Let them figure that shit out. They both grown men. So it did seem like you wanted to get between and divide, right? So then they said the Wham situation and I don't know who Wham was, and Wham is the bridge between Thug and P, and Wham. I didn't really give a fuck about no Wham. I didn't care about that, right? But he was like, according to him, he never made a dime off Gunna, but he invested a lot of money in him. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's why you're salty. Let the chips fall where they may. The reality of it is you're salty because you invested money in him and you didn't make any money off him according to you, and now he's out there flourishing and living his best life. And I'm guessing, I don't know if you're making money off him now. So is that why you're upset? But I don't think it's about the money. I don't think it's about the money. From watching this interview, I don't think it's about the money. I just think that you feel like because you showed up a certain way in your relationship, you had expectations for how Gunna was supposed to show up. And because he didn't do that, your feelings is hurt and you low-key want your ass kissed. And because that's not happening, you feel some type of way. And I want to say something to you, Young Thug baby. Welcome to the party. Because I remember I had to learn the hardest way in my motherfucking life that that's not how real life works. And this was 2005. This was so long ago, right? I was friends with a young lady, and again, like you pouring into the relationship and being the best friend I know how to be, and blah, blah, blah. And then a situation presented themselves where I felt betrayed. And again, she looking at me like, okay, you feel what you feel, bitch. I feel what I bitch, and what's up? I'm standing on my square, stand on yours. And for me, like you, Thug, I was mortified. Well, bitch, you don't have a square to stand on. You wrong. In your eyes. In my eyes, I'm right and I'm doing what the fuck I want. And I mean, pretty much, what's up? You're not my friend no more? Cool. Let's push forward. And I remember being truly, truly heartbroken because I could not believe that she could move that way with me. But then I also had to learn throughout that experience. And thank God at this time, I was only maybe like 22. I'm so happy that I am so many years removed from that and so much more mature. But it was a learning experience in which I had to learn that not everybody is going to see eye to eye with you. Not everybody is going to agree with you. Not everybody's going to do things the way that you do it. And you have to let them push forward in the direction that they need to go in. Sometimes it may hurt. Sometimes it may break your heart. Sometimes it may embarrass you. Sometimes you may feel disrespected. But at the end of the day, you cannot stress over things you have no control over. And we don't have control over other people. I'm thankful to God that I learned that 20 years ago. We have no control over other people. Whatever decisions that they want to make that better their life, whether you agree with them or not, you let them. So, Young Thug, while I think you might just be salty because you expected a certain level of camaraderie, respect, brotherhood, honor, you can feel that way. But you can't control what another man does. And Gunna's doing what the fuck he want. And I think you need to learn to be okay with that. So, Big Bang basically asked, he was like, well, how do we bring the city back together? Right? So then Rollo name came back up again. And he was like, because Rollo is who also contributed to saying that he contributed to running with the narrative that he was the person who divided the city. He was like, and how can you say that? Because even when I was beefing with Lucci, at the height of our beef, I reached out to do a song with him. He was like, so I'm always trying to unite. I'm not even trying to be on no fuck shit. So Big Bank was like, well, you sure you wasn't trolling when you did that? Because people could view that as trolling. He was like, nah, ask him. Like, I was being genuine when I said that, right? So then Big Bank started holding Thug accountable. He was like, listen, at the end of the day, all this drama is because untreated trauma. And how we move forward. He was like, and how do we move forward and how do we heal? Right. And when Big Bang said that, my hands clapped because I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I started Operation Heal 100 Hearts 11 years ago. And when I first brought up the idea of healing in order for folks to be successful and do this and move forward in life, everybody thought it was a joke because they said, what does me being a millionaire have to do with me healing? And what I was trying to explain to people is as long as you're working on yourself to be your better self and your highest self, everything else around you will become easy to you. So let's just say you want to do something and you need to work hard at it. If you are stressed, depressed, and going through something, it's no way for you to put the effort and the energy into working hard to accomplish the goal. So therefore, no, you can't be successful because no, you can't work hard because guess what? You need healing. So that's always been what I've been screaming from the mountaintops for the last 13 years because I started the journey 13 years ago, 2 years before I started assisting other people, is that we all need healing. I just experienced a very unhealed version of myself these last 6 months, which is why I wasn't able to accomplish the things that I needed to accomplish. And these things should have been done months ago. But because I wasn't in a good headspace, it manifests everywhere. You guys seen the other day with my health. That was just a result of not being at my highest self and not in the healing space. No, you have to work on healing. You have to work on growing. You have to work on being better to yourself because once you do these things, everything else falls into place. So I was so happy when Big Bang said, listen, all this drama you bringing up and all these circumstances, all of this is a result of unhealed trauma. When do we untreated trauma? He said. He was like, and when do we get on the road to healing? And I was like, Big Bang, you better talk that shit. He said, listen, I'm out the game. No scrapes, no scars. I said, I know that's right. I know that's right. And he said, because he really, really works on himself day in and day out. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he said something about therapy, which again is always so impressive for me to hear about people, not just women, not just men. I don't care what gender you are. It's so impressive to hear that people are really taking therapy serious because we all have some traumas that we have to address. We all have some traumas that we have to address. And it comes in different layers and it comes at different times. And if you want to be your highest self, shit, you better do what you better do. You got to do what you got to do. Because if not, you will continue to repeat the same cycle. You will continue to go down the same road and you will continue to get the same results. So I was so thankful for Big Bang Charlie Murphy looking ass for putting that out there and really keeping it real with Thug and holding him accountable. Right? So Thug starts saying he ain't no whole ass nigga and he don't be pillow talking and he be with his children and he don't be doing no fuck shit. So all of this stuff is traumatizing to him and he's trying to move forward. And Bank was like, no, I get all that. He said, and you can, because it's a difference between hard and impossible. You can change. You have to want to change and you have to really do the work. And what I got from Young Thug is you don't want to do the work. You don't. You don't. You want to appear like everything is okay. And then when you're not okay, you want to blame everything and everybody else as opposed to looking inward. And I'm sorry, that's a lot of what Black men do a lot of times is put on that victim role, which is I'm good, I'm straight, I'm fine. And then when it manifests in your behaviors that you're not good, straight, and fine, then it's somebody else's fault outside of you, or somebody should be okay with all the mistakes and the mishaps that you made because you're fucked up, but you also don't want to heal. It's fuck shit. I regret to inform you. It's fuck shit. And it's fuck shit on everybody's part. So I really, really enjoyed this segment of the interview because I felt like it was more based on mental health and really working on your traumas and your triggers. And I enjoyed this part of it. I really, really enjoyed it, right? So I was tuned in. Again, it's a lot of country grammar, so I'm trying to get through it. Please don't forget to hit the like, comment, share, subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up on this video, ladies and gentlemen. I saw him wipe his face, but I didn't necessarily see the tears that everybody was talking about with the Gunna situation because I don't really feel like Young Thug is sad about it. I'm sorry, I don't feel like he's sad. I feel like he's angry, and I feel like he's old. He feel like he's owed something, but I didn't necessarily get he was sad about it. You know, I got that. I feel like everybody in the world should be telling this nigga he owed me. He didn't stand on his 10. He didn't do what he's supposed to do. He didn't. Thug, who cares? Who cares? You did what you needed to do. Move forward. Look how God blessed you. You're home, back with your children. Try to fix the relationship with your bitch since you cheated on her when you were in jail. Like, you got bigger fish to fry. So this whole trying to hold Gunna feet to the fire, it's enough. It's enough. Push forward. God will whatever karma that Gunna's supposed to get, God gonna spin the block on him. Stop worrying about that. Stop speaking about that. Stop thinking about that. It's time to move forward. And I realized that you went out in your community to get the love you ain't get at home, and then you showed the love and it wasn't reciprocated. Listen, it was reciprocated. You know how many niggas was saying free slime? It was reciprocated, even if not through who you gave it to. Push forward, move on, brother. It's done. So for me, I enjoyed this part of the interview. I thought it was really, really good. Like I said, I had to break this down in 3 parts because there's so much. Oh, Lord have mercy. But in any of it, ladies and gentlemen, I'm keeping up. I'm trying to give all my feedback for this interview. I hope you enjoyed my recap. I hope you watched the interview so you can kind of share some of your feedback. And if not, and you just want to hear what I have to say, it's appreciated as well. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up on this video. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy your evening. Mwah. Love you guys and be safe.